is home to many refugees escaping trouble back home.
One such refugee was a 10-year-old Sudanese child who was forced into a soldiers' training camp but managed to escape to Australia.
Near dawn, when all is still, my ancestors come to me. They bring me the taste of the land, ripe new corn stalks against the dampness of the River Nile, the sound of crackling fire, the scent of cattle, and the fresh milk that fills my belly every morning. Most of all, they bring the feeling of safety that came from my mother's warm embrace.
I became a child soldier at the age of 10. I'm one of the lost boys, and I've written a book called Color's Journey.
The families weren't given a choice. You had to give up a child, or cattle were taken, arrests made, and a child taken by force anyway.
The last day that I saw my mom was in '87, and she took me halfway to Peñado. We walked 7 days from our village to Ethiopia, and then from there she went back. So that was the last time that I saw her. She passed away. I haven't seen her again.
There were no tearful farewells. My mother simply said, "Go well." My mother didn't hug or kiss me goodbye. She just walked off into the distance. I didn't want to hug or kiss her, as I felt I had to control myself, to appear manly. To give way to my emotion might have let loose an unstoppable flood.
I became an adult at the age of 10. There was no mom to look after me, no dad, no brothers, nobody.
My first impression when we arrived at Peñado camp was amazement. There were so many children. It was a sea of little people. When we were old enough to hold a gun properly, we were considered ready to fight. If I stayed there, I knew that the need to survive would turn me into an animal. It took a long while to come to me that I had to leave, but once I decided, the need fell on me with full force.
The whole journey for me from my homeland until Australia took me about 14 years. In most cases, I was walking. My feet were really very tired. I couldn't walk no more. Sometimes we could just sit and say, "No, enough is enough. I don't want to walk no more." From Sudan to South Africa, maybe 10,000 miles. And the reason why I was traveling is because I was just searching for a better place.
Throughout my journey, some people have helped me and some have turned away. Some people have been scared of me because I have such dark skin, and others see an honest man in desperate straits.
Hi Roy, how are you? Good, how are you? Have you read the book?
I met Kola 2 years ago. Kola actually started doing his book here in the cafe. I think he finished the whole thing here, you know?
You know, every time I go, I didn't have the money. He was, "Hey, use the computer." And he asked me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm writing a book." "Okay, use the computer."
Hi, Kola.
Hi Roy, how So he was the first person I ran to and give him the book.
He used to tell me, "Roy, you're going to get the first copy. You're going to get the first copy." And I always ask him, "Cole, you got it?" I said, "No, next week." But finally, he got it, and he signed it for me.
I believe people are all the same. We are just praising God in different ways. The fact is, we just only have different colors, but the blood is the same. If the blood is the same, then people are the same.
In a refugee camp.
DJ and Sudanese,
I just walked around one time and I came across Lopez.
I fell in love with this dude pretty much, with the story of where he came from, and I started taking him out to all my gigs.
Yeah.
I started introducing him to all the big name DJs at the time. I remember he was asking me pretty much from basics.
I didn't know how the system worked, and then he had to tell me, "Caller, you gotta look, it says side A and B, and this is song 1, song 2, song 3, and that's how it is, you know, and that's how I got into music." 1, 2, 1, 2. The books and the musics, I see it as the only way we can be able to get connected. You know, I want to have some sort of connection with people.
One more time, I say one more time, I'm so worried.
I get my ideas of writing songs from all the problems that are happening around the world, in Middle East, in Iraq, in Israel and Palestine, same thing in Sudan and Darfur.
About the struggle that I've been through, I spit it for you, so that you know now, for when it's going down. Make some noise, yo! Can't go back to living in a war zone.
I just want to be able to pass the message, to encourage those who are also struggling not to give up and to keep trying.
Last but not least, I ain't never time to get a bleed. Pay attention, grind makes you late, grind makes you crazy.